What's up, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny weapon review. In this video, we'll be looking at Nirwen's Mercy, legendary pulse rifle acquired only through competing in the Iron Banner. Now that may already have some of you dry heaving in a corner somewhere, and I totally understand that. Iron Banner can be enjoyable, or it could be one of the most infuriating activities that Destiny has to offer. Luckily, ranking up your Iron Banner rep is significantly faster in Year 2. I was able to go from rank 1 to 5 in just a couple of hours of playing. This past week, Saladin offered the Mercy with a pretty stellar role in my opinion. One that favors Rumble gameplay, I think. It is possible to have this weapon drop with different rolls on it, but I only saw 2 drop randomly as a post-game reward the entire time I played the banner. So most of you who have this likely have the same vendor version roll that I do. But if you had one drop randomly, then please feel free to share your roll in the comments section below. Looking at the vendor version, it comes with Outlaw, which is never a bad thing in my opinion, especially if you're competing in Rumble matches where engagements are often close together or even overlap. But the weapon already has a decent reload speed anyway, so Outlaw isn't a must-have. In the middle tree you have Perfect Balance, Braced Frame, and Injection Mold. In my opinion, there is an obvious choice among the 3, and that's Braced Frame. You get to max out the stability while sacrificing a handful of bullets from the already large magazine. I found myself not needing those extra bullets if I was landing more shots more consistently, because this weapon does have some weird northeast recoil, even with high stability, that has the potential to lose you a firefight or 2 each match. So reliably landing shots is always more preferable to me, so Brace Frame is the way to go in my opinion. Finally, you have Third Eye. Third Eye is always a fantastic top tier perk to have for PvP weapons, and this really isn't a PvE weapon. There are dozens of weapons that outshine it in PvE. This is definitely a PvP weapon. It's acquired through PvP and it's geared towards PvP. So in PvP, having the radar active while you ADS is always a great thing, especially while playing Rumble, because it helps keep you from being flanked or outmaneuvered. You can ADS in hard scope corners waiting for people to come around and still have some sort of an inkling as to when they're going to do that. So Third Eye, always a great call. Now the weapon is the same archetype, pretty much identical, to the Year 1 pulse rifle, the All Fate, which was introduced during the House of Wolves DLC. If you used that pulse rifle, then you're going to have no issue adjusting to the Mercy. It hits for 22 to the body and 32 to the head, meaning it's possible to get a 2-burst kill, although almost all your engagements will require 3 bursts in order to win. The gun is very similar to Red Death, doing only slightly less damage at the trade-off of opening up another exotic weapon slot. So is this a top tier pulse rifle? That's the question people want to know. Is it worth the time and effort to grind through the Iron Banner and land yourself this pulse rifle? I would say it's definitely worth your time. It's a great pulse rifle. I wouldn't say that it's godly or even borderline OP, as some would argue. In fact, there are a number of weapons I use in the Crucible that I prefer in my primary slot over this one. But it's undeniably deadly and a solid choice regardless of the playlist that you're engaged in. Possibly one of its greatest strengths is its ability to chew through 2 or 3 enemies before ever having to reload. And even if you do need to reload, the reload speed is decently low, and Outlaw may help in that capacity as well. So managing multiple targets is one of the weapon's core strengths, and that's why I enjoyed using it in Rumble quite a bit. Now call me shallow, but one of the things that matters to me most when playing with a weapon is aesthetics. How a weapon looks plays a big role in how a weapon feels, at least for me. I'm more inclined to use a weapon that has a lot of character over a weapon that is raw practicality. And this weapon just doesn't deliver for me personally when it comes to aesthetics. It's just green with the Iron Banner symbol on it. And this weapon, being the first primary Iron Banner weapon available in TTK, could have been so much cooler to me if it reflected the aesthetic designs of one of the 3 weapons manufacturers that we've become more familiar with in the Taken King. I really wish that it was clearly Amalon, Suros, or Haka, and reflected that in both its visual design and the small things, like the audio cues when the weapon discharges, or it had the Haka iron sights or the Suros holographic projected sights. The weapon looks blah to me, and so it sometimes feels blah to me, regardless of how well the weapon plays. So if I were to give this weapon a numeric value on like a 1 to 10 scale, I would say that Nirwen's Mercy lands at about an 8.5 if 10 is reserved for exotic tier weapons that are both powerful and full of character and individuality. Nirwen's Mercy is a strong pulse rifle, and practically speaking is matched only by a handful of legendary weapons in the Crucible. I still personally prefer my scouts in most instances, but I'll undoubtedly continue to use this weapon as I play. I think it shines quite brightly in Rumble, but is definitely a solid weapon regardless of the playlist that you find yourself in. I would definitely recommend that you take the time to acquire this weapon the next time it's available. It's worth it, I think. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions on this weapon in the comments below. I definitely don't expect everyone to agree with me out there. Destiny is full of talented players that respectfully disagree on a number of things, so please share what your experience with this weapon has been like. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the Crucible. And no, that's not a threat.